I'm Kayla.
I'm Anna. This is Laughs and Legacies.
Merry Christmas, guys! We are so excited to do a little Christmas episode for you all, and we hope you're just having a good time and that you spend it with your family. So our first story is actually from our Auntie Norma.
I asked her, I was like, you have any stories? She says, the only one I could think of is when Eric, their oldest son, was little, Mike, her husband, and Eric were out playing karate. Which, I don't know, I'm just going to assume that they were beating each other up, right? And
Pretty much.
Mike karate kicked Eric. It wasn't very hard, but Eric hit the corner wall and cut his eyebrow. We had to go to the emergency room so Eric could get stitches.
On Christmas.
Merry Christmas. While Eric was getting stitches, Mike was watching it get done and almost passed out.
Really? I would never expect that from him, actually.
But I feel like on the eyebrow, though, too. Ugh, probably gross.
I don't know. I just have never expected him to be woozy in any sort of hospital setting.
She said Christmas Eve that night was one to remember. She said also, love how my older teenagers would get up at 3 a.m. in the morning to see what Santa brought. They always got so excited and would wake up their younger siblings to look at the gifts.
Who didn't do that, honestly?
We surely did not. You know who did? Trevor. Our little brother would wake up at like 4 a.m.
You don't
and,
remember Andrew and I coming in?
No, I only remember Trevor. He'd like wake us all up and be like, let's go. And he's like jumping up and down, and mom and dad have like one eye open. They're just like,
like, get out of here. Honestly, I just like miss, it's just not the same when you get older. I mean, there's still lots of good things about Christmas. Obviously, it's still one of my favorite holidays. I love getting together with family. I love giving gifts, getting gifts, and, you know, eating together. It's just always fun, but the magic is just not the same.
We had good traditions, I feel like.
We did, and our parents really made it so good. I feel like I believed in Santa way longer than most kids.
Yeah?
I don't know about
I
you.
remember when you found out.
I was very upset.
I told you.
No, it was our neighbor. She told both of us.
I was sitting on the bus with her. I remember coming home. I was in 3rd grade. And she says, Anna, you know that the Tooth Fairy and Santa work together? And I'm like, what? And then I went to you and I asked you and you were like, no. And then we went to Dad, and Dad, like, he's like, I don't want to lie to you guys. And he sat us down and told us. And Mom's like, you told them? He's like, I don't want to lie to them. She's like, we've been lying for quite some time.
I was very upset. Actually, this is really funny. When I first met my husband, it was like in November. Well, not when we first met, but when we first started dating, it was in November. And we were talking about Christmas and traditions, yada, yada, yada. And he's talking about Santa Claus. Like he still believed in him. And I was like, you're kidding, right? And I kept asking him, and he was so convincing, guys. Like, so convincing. I legitimately thought he still believed in Santa Claus as a 23-year-old. And I actually went up to my mom and I go, Mom, I think if he actually still believes in Santa Claus, I think I need to break up with him. Like, this is so weird to me. And finally I was like, you need to tell me the truth right now. He's like, no, of course I don't. I was like, oh, thank you. But he was so convincing. I seriously was concerned.
I don't even know what to say. That's pretty good. Allie I bet he's like a good fibber.
He is.
I wouldn't know because he's just a good fibber.
He is. If he wants you to believe he believes in something, he will.
That is legendary. He should. Oh yeah, I was gonna say he should be a salesman.
He is a salesman. Anyway. No, but he actually has another really funny story because I was talking to him about this episode, and he's like, the only thing I remember is that my grandpa would always get, he would buy a pig, and he would buy like a little deer. I don't know if it was really a deer. He can't remember the name of it, but same family. Anyways, and they would all these little kids, him and all of his little cousins, because he's one of the older ones, would raise these animals. They gave them names. They loved on them all year long. And they took turns each Christmas who got to kill the animals. Depressing. But he thought it was so cool. I was like, wow, it's so sad. Attachment issues.
So our traditions included Shrinky Dinks,
Shrinker Dinks were the bomb.
sugar cookies,
He's just gutting an animal. I think it's so funny. I remember stringing popcorn and cranberries. I feel like people don't do that anymore.
It's good. I don't know. I remember doing that too at Grandma's house growing up. I remember Christmas at her first house was really awesome. We did the nativity. I think after she moved out of that house, we never did like a nativity scene again.
Yeah, where we dressed up.
Yeah, where we all
We
dressed
haven't
up.
done that in like a really long time.
I
guess we're all older.
I personally don't miss it. Because it's just like all the adults just like watching you and coordinating you, and you're just like,
I didn't care. I like the spotlight. I was like, make me Mary or the angel.
Mary or the angel.
And I remember one year, Dad was reading the scriptures and he made me like a shepherd, and I was pissed. I was so mad.
I feel like I was always like the sheep or like the donkey or something. And I'm like,
Bah.
I just want to have a role or a line, and my line is bah. And you had traditions when you were in Peru, right?
Yeah, I think most of South America, so when I was on my mission, I think most people down there are the same. They don't really celebrate the 25th. They celebrate all on the 24th, and they celebrate it at midnight. So it was really interesting for me because I was not expecting that. I'm so grateful that we were able to like go out and hang out with people because, you know, midnight you were supposed to be in bed with those rules. But we got to, yeah, they like start eating dinner at 11 p.m. And then at midnight, everyone does fireworks. And you think fireworks shows here in America are awesome? No, guys, this was crazy. I legit thought I was going to get blasted off the roof.
Really?
Because it was a 3-story house. And that's another thing in most South America. They don't do like wide houses. They do skinny but tall houses. And so it was a 3-story house. We were standing on the roof and there were fireworks like by our heads. I was like, we're going to die. Like, I'm going to get blasted off this roof right now.
That sounds
And then
awesome.
they open presents at midnight. So it's very different. And this year, actually, we're going to be spending it with my in-laws, and that's how they're doing it as well. So it's just so different, but it's fun.
That is cool. I like that. I think I'd rather stay up to midnight to like give each other gifts and stuff than waking up at 3 a.m. Which we do anyways, even though we're all grown, because we'll wake up at like 4 or 5 because we host Christmas breakfast. Like when we were younger, tons of friends and family, neighbors, and miscellaneous people would come and have Christmas breakfast. I think only in the last like 5 or so years it's dwindled down to just like some family members, a couple neighbors, and it's just chill now. But we still wake up early and get together and make breakfast, which is fun. It's fun when you're all like making food together, you know? Everyone has their job.
Yeah. That is one of my favorite traditions, and when Mom decides to stop doing it, I will then host it.
You will?
I will take over. I love that tradition.
You heard it here, folks. Kayla just signed herself up.
I think it's a great tradition. I just like having neighbors over, and I know most of the time Christmas is about family, but to get neighbors together too, and like we always invited the missionaries over. It was just fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think we'll just end it on that note. We just wanted to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and share some of our favorite Christmas traditions. And
yeah. Of course, we're releasing this on Christmas Day. That's why we don't have a million stories, but we do hope that you guys have a really awesome Christmas with your families and your friends and others. So Merry Christmas, everyone.
Bye.